You know, if you've ever wondered how bad it is working for the BBC and how badly they treat you, then all you really have to do is speak to someone who literally gave a lot of service, a lot of success to the brand, and then find that when they fire you inexplicably, simply because you're now too old, well, this is what happened. Let me explain. Good to see you, chums. Thank you so much as ever for your time. We'll have a lovely wave. It's true though, isn't it? I've said this before. You get to a certain age, you become invisible, and it doesn't matter if you're working in television or indeed whether you're working in something like retail or banking or whatever. Suddenly, if you can't do the digitization or you can't pull in the audience, you're out, your curtains, that's that. And this is what happened to Catherine, the Princess of Wales' favourite tennis commentator. That's right, the former tennis star herself, Sue Barker. Met Sue, absolutely lovely lady, very down to earth, very passionate about her job, and really symbolised everything about Wimbledon. She'd been at it a long, long time as player, presenter, all that sort of stuff. But she was one of those people that just made it quintessentially English, you know. And then, of course, she had a sort of second career as the hostess for many years of A Question of Sport. Now, A Question of Sport is one of these shows that absolutely the whole family can sit down, even if you like sport or don't. It's a guessing game. There's some funny rounds, and normally there's one or two celebrities and former international sports ladies and men that you know and think, yeah, good fun, you know, a passable hour. Well, the BBC fired Sue, right? Because they said, well, we're just looking to refresh it, meaning you're too old, sling your rope, love, right? So they replaced her with this man, Paddy McGuinness, and they were going to, it's going to be marvellous, you know, and they paid him a fortune. It lasted one series, ratings plummeted. Did they have the foresight, though, to say to Sue, we are sorry, could we now invite you back? We desperately need your expertise. No, no, no. So then Sue was offered the opportunity to take into theatres the touring version of A Question of Sport. This did well. Tickets sold out, theatres were full, people in work, bars, theatre programmes, ushers, so you can understand. Very quickly though, the BBC jumped down on Sue and that team, saying that you can't use the words A Question of Sport. It's their trademark, their copy, and it's nothing to do with her. Also, she couldn't use the round names, so, you know, guessing game, that sort of stuff. They really wanted to crush the tour. Now, what's fascinating about this is, as you can imagine, that audience are made up of people that still, some might suggest, pay literally the BBC licence fee. There isn't many now, but there's one or two, right? So when you think about it from that perspective, you're literally alienating the audience that you now want to pay for your failures. As I said, the previous host for one series, Paddy McGuinness, was an utter disaster. Not his fault, big shoes to follow with Sue Barker. And let's not forget, of course, Sue is a favourite with the royals. And according to a source, a certain member of royalty was going to be attending one of those live shows. So they got round it. They can still do the shows. They just can't mention the words A Question of Sport. So when you think about it from a perspective of bad business, think about this with the BBC. They threatened to send people on Christmas Day to literally check if you were watching their channels on that day with their law enforcement teams for the BBC licence fee. Yet this particular event, a wonderful event with the audience that truly do like Sue Barker, her guests, and a theatre audience of still potential licence fee payers, well, they decided to try and spoil their night out literally at the final hour. Of course, Sue, being a professional, got round it. But what a shabby way to treat someone, and all because they had the, well, terrible thing of actually reaching a good age. I mean, how bad do you think that looks? I'd love to know what you think. Even if you've not seen A Question of Sport, it's a terrible way to treat someone. Agree? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.